and the rollerbladers and just everybody who's interested in getting out here and getting their exercising done early. Oh, moms and dads as well. All right, so just about everybody, Dorothy, out here this morning except you.
Except me, oh, that's for sure.
And I'm only standing here.
And no ice melting yet.
In fact, I brought a chair.
Well, you got to take it easy in the heat, sir. Isn't that what they
that's
say?
Right. I don't want to overexert myself.
All right, well, you're done. Now you may sit down. Now you have to listen to traffic this morning. We have a couple of things going on, just a little bit of volume building on 422 if you've got to travel eastbound. There we go. Our first taillights becoming visible in the area of Trooper. Of course, that always happens at this hour of the morning. Happening also on I-95 South, where the commute towards Center City, Philadelphia, getting a little bit heavier every time we look. The area hotspots still moving along well, still staying light on the 42 freeway. No troubles there. The Blue Route's in great shape. Your ride along 476 should be fine north and southbound. And here we go, the Schuylkill Expressway. Even that usually congested roadway, not that way so far. Of course, that's going to happen. And we predict in the next 10, 20 minutes. Dorothy, Krysiuk, back to you.
Another violent night on the streets of Philadelphia. 7 people shot, another stabbed, and the latest incidents come as Mayor John Street prepares to address Philadelphians on what the city is doing to stop all the murders across the city. Steve Keeley now live from police headquarters to sort out the details from yet another night of bloodshed. Steve.
Yeah, you bet. More violence, more shootings, and more murders. Number 223 and 224 overnight. That even before this all happened, the mayor was planning to make this live address, and now these recent shootings make his plans here for his police department even more pressing. More bullets, blood, and guns on Philadelphia streets, and more victims, too. Murder victims, 223 and 224, among the 8 people shot and stabbed overnight. Starting here in South Philly at 19th and Federal Streets, where a 19-year-old was killed as he sat in a car and was shot several times. This happened at the same time an 18-year-old was being stabbed in Juniata on Glendale Street. A couple of hours later, 3 people were shot here on Weymouth Street in the Kensington section. An hour later here in southwest Philadelphia, a man was shot and is in critical condition, while another man just blocks away in South Philly at 13th Street was shot. The violence ended, at least for now, with the city's latest murder, 55th and Vine, where a 25-year-old man was shot in the face. All this happening just before Mayor Street plans to go on live TV tonight at 7 to talk about the city's crime dilemma and what he plans to do about it. And so the question this morning now is, what possibly could the mayor be announcing tonight for the police department here? Maybe even more concentrations of cops on corners, like a supercharged Safe Streets program. Something, the residents say, to scare these criminals back to not shooting, and something to keep the mayor's constituents from getting any more scared to go out themselves. Live at the Roundhouse, Steve Keeley, Fox News.
All right, Steve, thank you. Something has to be done. Well, a new ordinance passes in Riverside, New Jersey. It's aimed at cracking down on illegal immigrants. Hundreds of people from the small town turned out last night to debate the ordinance that will fine landlords who rent to illegals, as well as revoking business licenses of employers that hire illegal immigrants. Riverside is struggling to handle more than 3,500 illegal immigrants. People wondering how the ordinance would be enforced were heckled.
When they look at the physical face, how can you tell who is Puerto Rican, who is really legal or illegal?
The ordinance is similar to the one adopted by Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
3 teens involved in the Columbine-style plot at Winslow High School are expected in court at today's hearing. A court date will be set for 2 of the teens. Earlier this month, 16-year-old Peter Cunningham waived his juvenile status in exchange for a plea arrangement. He has agreed to testify against the others in the case. A Northeast Philadelphia woman is also expected in court today for the June stabbing of a mail carrier. Detectives say Alveda Tolliver used a 6-inch long kitchen knife to stab the mailman 3 times before he got away. It happened near Lardner and Castor Avenue. Tolliver is charged with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and related offenses. In 1990, Tolliver was convicted of stabbing a woman to death. She had just been released from prison before committing the latest incident.
The father of a teenage girl who refused to testify in the murder case of Fahim Thomas Childs is back behind bars this morning. Devonzo Lawson is charged with obstruction of justice and witness intimidation after he ordered his daughter not to testify against Kennell Spady and Kareem Johnson. Lawson's lawyer says he was just scared for his daughter's safety.
I think his fatherly instincts came to the fore, and I think he should be proud of those instincts, not embarrassed.
While the girl did not testify, the two men charged in the case were found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. An effort is underway to honor a murdered Philadelphia police officer, but there is a hitch. Nearly 6,000 people have signed an online petition asking the city to rename Castor Avenue in honor of Officer Gary Skursky, of course, killed during that bar robbery. But Castor Avenue is already named in honor of the family of Montgomery County District Attorney Bruce Castor.
So whether it's Castor Avenue, whether it's a new development in Byberry, or whether it's down in his area in Port Richmond, I think as long as something's named in his honor, that way every time everybody goes past that street, they'll always remember what a brave man existed, and hopefully they'll all stop and say a prayer.
District Attorney Castor says he would support renaming the block on Castor Avenue where Officer Skursky was killed. Petition drive organizers seem okay with that idea.
Philadelphia's Olympic Committee is holding a press conference today to talk about yesterday's disappointing announcement. Now, yesterday, the U.S. Olympic Committee eliminated Houston and Philadelphia as candidate cities for the 2016 Summer Games. That leaves San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Chicago. Joe Torcella, co-chairman of Philadelphia 2016, said the city put in a strong bid, but didn't have strong ties with the international athletic community that could have put it ahead. Mayor John Street thanks citizens for thinking and dreaming big, but many say they knew we were never really in the running.
I don't think they have the wherewithal to really host that large an event.
I already told my friend we might lose it because of the crime rate.
USOC will decide later this year whether to submit any bid at all to the International Olympic Committee, which will choose the host city in 2009. Kerri?
Thank you, Scott. New technology in Wilmington making it harder for people to beat parking tickets. Parking enforcement officers now have cameras mounted on their vehicles that instantly scan license plates. So, what does this mean for you? If you have 3 or more parking tickets, you're getting the boot. The new system is not just for cracking down on illegal parkers.
We can also use this technology to identify unregistered vehicles, stolen vehicles, vehicles that may possess someone who's wanted.
One advantage for scofflaws, the new system allows drivers to pay their fines over the phone instantly, and the boot can be removed in minutes instead of hours.
City leaders in Camden are working hard to improve its neighborhoods. Yesterday, city officials unveiled the once deserted neighborhood Yorkshire Square's new look. After a multi-million-dollar revamp, the historic square is back on its way to being the thriving community it once was.
What we've done is renovate houses, pretty much a house on every street throughout the Fairview neighborhood, completely gut it out, bring it back to its historic original, and then sell it to first-time home buyers.
And they're doing pretty well so far. 50 first-time homeowners have moved in, along with dozens of apartment dwellers there. While homeowners are buying up Camden real estate, teachers looking to work in Camden won't want to miss a job fair being held today. This afternoon, Camden schools will hold a job fair for elementary and secondary teachers. You may qualify for a position in one of the district's 34 schools. The job fair starts at 2 at the Board of Education on North Front Street, and we're coming up in the 9s.
We are, but first we have to share a little debate we're having here in the studio because we like to let you know what happens in the commercial breaks. So floor director Andy and the formerly fabulous Scott Engler have both decided that 42 degrees for a temperature in the studio is appropriate. Meantime, it's 68. Andy says, okay. So I can barely type. My nose is running. It's so freezing, like my toes are now curling in my shoes. And Sue Serio, I need a little girl support out there. This could be a girl versus boy thing because I know you were so cold, you actually got excited to leave the studio to do weather on the street yesterday because it was so cold in here.
2 hours in there yesterday. I was getting blue on my fingertips.
Yeah, notice I'm just being silent here.
It's not just me.
You're absolutely right.
Meat locker man.
I'm freezing. Honestly, my makeup is icing over.
That's okay. We have others on this staff, Greg Gilroy, who are just the same way. And, you know, we love you. That's what we all like. So, all right, you hate this hot weather, and you have to find some air conditioning, but in some cases wear a sweater when you go inside. 75 degrees for Bus Stop Buddy, and that's your out-the-door temperature. And later on today, he's going to need some water breaks because it is hot, hot, hot for later on this afternoon. 73 degrees at the shore, 73 in Wilmington, 69 in Allentown, and 72 degrees in Lancaster, Pennsylvania this morning. Those are your current temperatures. Now, if we're starting off in the 70s, you know it's going to be a hot and humid day. We have some cloud cover on the way from the west. Very weak, call it a short wave coming through, but probably not a lot of shower activity with it this morning. There's a greater chance of showers and thunderstorms popping up later on this afternoon. Doesn't seem like there'll be any tropical development down in the Gulf Coast of Texas. We thought that might be a possibility yesterday, but that storm system has stayed on land today. Lots of rain at the border between Texas and Louisiana. So for us today, 90 degrees, pop-up thunderstorms possible, some strong and possibly severe thunderstorms on Friday with a high of 88. And then we're back to 90 degrees on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That could be when our heat wave begins. It's 3 days in a row of 90 degrees or above. So we got the hot and humid weekend. We don't see the soaking rains that we had last Saturday. If it happens at all, that may happen tomorrow. And that is a look at your 5-day forecast. Looks cool and refreshing to be rowing down the Schuylkill River this morning. It is Thursday, and it's kind of hazy as well, Dorothy, so I imagine that will be part of the traffic report.
Yes.
There's so many elements.
And yesterday all morning it was, Sue. You know, we go with something and then we just use it over and over. It was hazy yesterday, and yeah, it could be hazy this morning. We know that it's already getting a little bit crowded for your commute south on I-95. There it is, a little sample of what you're going to find, just a little bitty one. For the most part, towards Center City, you're still moving well. Once you get towards the Allegheny Avenue area, though, do watch for some volume. Now, in Center City, Philadelphia, no troubles yet on the Vine Expressway. We see that it's moving along well, so 76. But if you've got to drive towards that old region, well, here's what you're going to find on the Schuylkill. A little bit of a preview for you. In fact, at this point, we are not complaining about anything, still just building volume for the most part. It is starting to change. Things are starting to pick up, so probably by the time you get done watching this report and get out there, it's going to be much more crowded. Count on that. 42 freeway, still just fine. No troubles out of the Garden State. Doing well so far. On the Blue Route, 476 moves nicely. And at this point, no major deal on 422, although we are seeing more and more taillights here now in the area of Trooper. Of course, that is typical for this hour of the morning. And I can say with great assurance, it's just going to get worse. So keep watching. Dorothy, Krysiuk, back to you.
Thank you, Dorothy. 6:12 now. The Texas mom who drowned her 5 children in a bathtub is found not guilty by reason of insanity. A hearing in Houston today officially commits Andrea Yates to a state mental hospital. We'll tell you how long she will be committed.
And we've got some good news for people looking to buy a new home. The optimistic forecast in the Fox Business Report coming up.
This Fox 29 program is brought to you by The Dump.
And good morning again. It is 6:16 now. A hearing in Houston today officially commits child killer Andrea Yates to a state mental hospital. Yesterday, the 42-year-old former nurse was acquitted in the drowning deaths of her children by reason of insanity. She'll be held until she's no longer considered a threat. Yates' attorney says the verdict may be the result of people's anger subsiding over time. After power is restored to residents of Queens, New York, another outage hit Staten Island this time. About 14,000 residents lost power yesterday afternoon. Con Ed says it's due to downed wires. Mayor Bloomberg says the power outage situation on Staten Island was a very different situation from what occurred in Queens. That had to do with an underground power system.
Financial news now. Joining us from Fox Business News is Tobin Smith. Tobin, good morning.
Good morning, Scott. Boy, I like that music intro you have now. It's cool.
Yeah, it kind of revs it up a little bit. Good news for people looking to buy. Why is it easier for people to buy a new home?
Because there's a whole bunch of homes for sale out there. I mean, really what's happened, Scott, is the psychology has changed, and that's a key to markets. I mean, the psychology was, boy, if I don't buy today, somebody's going to buy it tomorrow. Now the psychology is, I don't have to buy today because nobody's buying tomorrow. And that gets the prices where we've stabilized. We're going to probably see a pullback in areas that were just way, way over done, and that's fine. But for new buyers and for existing buyers, you can now buy rationally. You're not doing these escalator clauses, stuff like that. And that's good for a healthy market. I mean, you know, being scared that you have to buy a house that's too expensive is not, you know, healthy for anybody.
Let's talk about filling up at the pump. Where are gas prices headed nationally? We're already up over $3. How high can it go?
Well, it can go a lot higher. I just came back from Ireland. I was paying $8 a gallon. So, you know, something about Americans, we think it's our God-given right to have $3 gas or $2 gas. The reality is that we had more driving, 2% more gasoline used this 4th of July week than last year. So obviously $3 is not scaring people away from driving. And frankly, until we get to about $5.50 a gallon, we're still not even where we were in 1980. So, it's on a relative basis. We're going to be at $3 for a long time.
$5.50 a gallon. That's something to think about. All right, Tobin, thank you very much for joining us.
Good to see you.
$8 a gallon in Ireland. I can't get past that. My goodness. All right, Serio, we have nothing to complain about. Yay, $3.
That's right. Well, the modes of transportation we're witnessing here are looking more and more attractive. That would be
the legs,
the feet. Yeah, the feet. Let's take a look at big picture weather on the 9s. The 9-day trend is hot, hot, hot all the way through the weekend. We do have a little bit of a break in the action tomorrow with a high of only 88 degrees. That's because we see a series of strong thunderstorms perhaps moving through the area in the afternoon. It looks like a cold front may bring those along, but it's not any cooler on Saturday because we're back up to 90 degrees, 92 on Sunday, and even hotter by Tuesday of next week, which is the first day of August. We should hit 95 degrees. That is your 9-day trend, and we are live on Kelly Drive this morning. Dorothy, normally it is at this time of year pretty sticky, and we've watched ice melt before on this very sidewalk, but we've got a nice breeze this morning. I have to say, at least for now, it's pretty pleasant. So come on out, get your jogging done. We've got the folks with the strollers, the jogging strollers and everything. Proud of them. Proud of all of you.
Yes, hopefully they're just staying cool. Maybe little baby air conditioners in there or something.
That's right, the breeze, the nature's air conditioner.
A little breeze, but you did say it's breezy, so we're happy about that. The morning ride, my friends, is changing ever so slightly. Every time we check, it's getting a little bit heavier. That's what's going on 422. We now have pretty heavy delays from this area around Trooper through just east of this region. That's typical. We show you this every morning. Just know that it is out there, and things are kind of building in the way that they typically do. Schuylkill Expressway on the eastbound side, still not too bad here around the Blue Route, although at times we're seeing more and more volume and expecting that to grow, of course, around the Conshohocken curve. Certainly getting tighter in your commute towards Center City, Philadelphia. As you commute between the area of Montgomery and Girard Avenue, things are building mostly this point at Girard. And we're also finding a little bit more volume now on our area's hotspots. Still no major troubles on the Blue Route, but if you are going to be traveling north on the 42 freeway, count on a bit more company around the 295 area. Southbound I-95, certainly seeing many more cars now traveling towards the 676 area, towards Girard Avenue. At this point, moving fairly well through this region at the Bridge Street area, but getting tighter closer to Girard. I'm Dorothy Krysiuk. Back to you.
Dorothy, thank you. The Eagles head back to the field today at Lehigh University for training camp. Some of the rooks looking pretty good out there. We'll talk with 5th-round draft pick Jeremy Bloom after the break. And a safer way for our children to cool down during the hot days of summer, it's having many parents breathe a sigh of relief while sitting by the pool. We'll tell you what Philadelphia has done to ease the worries. Stay with us.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Toyota and the all-new bigger 2006 RAV4. Toyota, moving forward.
Talking Eagles, they say there's no place for pretty boys on the football field. But newest Eagle Jeremy Bloom is out to prove he's more than just a pretty face. So far, the rookie returner and former Olympic skier is sidelined with a hammy. The young man has seen fans from all over the globe, so we asked Jeremy, how do Philly fans stack up against diehard ski fans in Europe?
Well, I mean, the type of fans, football fans in this country, is rivals of the European ski fans. It's kind of the same thing, except for I would say the NFL is more popular than skiing in Europe. But they're all passionate. I mean, just to come out here, it's hot out here at the practices and see so many fans sit out here in the sun and watch us practice and support us and clap when we do things good and boo when we do things bad and just be a part of practice. That's support and passion.
Yeah, you don't get booed on the slopes, do you?
Not usually.
What do you think of the pretty boy thing, Kerri?
I'm noticing the pretty boy thing, and nice too.
All right, Jeremy and the rest of the birds head back to the practice field later this morning, Kerri.
Handsome and lots of personality. Nothing wrong with that. All right, 6:25 now. Another violent night in Philadelphia. This is Mayor Street. Plans to address the city about the escalating violence and what's being done to stop it. We have a live report. Also, more Israeli bombs hit Lebanese targets. More Israeli soldiers are dead, leaving the nation to decide whether or not to step up their campaign. We're going live to Washington for those details.
6:29. Oh, we're grateful for every breeze, and we're getting quite a few here on Kelly Drive, but that might not be the case where you are. Sunshine eventually burning through a lot of this morning fog and haze. It depends on where you are, whether you're seeing some fog this morning, but humid, that's for sure. Lots and lots of moisture in the air all day long. With a high of 90 degrees, we have a slight chance of an isolated thunderstorm popping up later on this afternoon. And Dorothy, yes, it is a very active morning for the folks out here on Kelly Drive. And see, there's very good advice. Make sure you stretch.
Make sure you stretch. Hot or cold, they need to do that. Is that right, Serio?
Yeah, I guess.
Hey, I thought you'd be an expert. You've been standing there for at least an hour.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
I should be.
Looks like that's the truth. Okay, this morning we are finding lots of volume. You kind of can't get ready for the morning ride except, of course, watching traffic. And here it is. The volume certainly out there on 422. Traveling eastbound, watch for the stack up starting already from the St. Gabe's Curve area through this region at Trooper. Lots of taillights lined up. Not so bad yet on the Schuylkill. This is 76 near 202. And I've got to tell you that even through Center City, Philadelphia, for the most part, everything is moving well. Now, we are getting some building volume south on I-95, flying towards the downtown Philadelphia area, probably easier than driving now from Allegheny through Girard Avenue. That's the heaviest spot so far. And in terms of our hot spots, we go to the Blue Route, which is moving well. No troubles yet on the 42 freeway. The northbound side a little heavier from Creek Road through 295. But once you get to the Walt Whitman Bridge, everything clears out pretty well. I'm Dorothy Krysiuk. Back to you.
Day 16 of fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. Talks in Rome ended without a ceasefire agreement, and it looks like now many more days of fighting are in store for the two sides. Brianna Keeler joining us now from Washington with more. Brianna, meantime, more casualties in the conflict, and again, no end in sight.
That's right, Kerri Lee. The U.S. still holding fast, rejecting calls for an immediate ceasefire. The State Department saying that a long-term sustainable solution is needed to end the violence in the Mideast.
Safety this morning for hundreds of Americans on the last scheduled ship out of Lebanon. But the violence rages on in Gaza, where 25 Palestinians died Wednesday, and near the Lebanese border, where 9 Israeli soldiers died. The Israeli military's worst day of losses so far. Failed talks between world leaders in Rome have stymied hopes of a swift diplomatic end to the fighting.
No one thought that this diplomatic effort was going to be easy. Everyone agrees we can't return to the status quo ante. We need a long-term solution. Everyone agrees that will require an international force.
But that was eclipsed by a disagreement on the issue of an immediate ceasefire. Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice held out for a package deal that includes the disarmament of Hezbollah, much to the frustration of Lebanon's prime minister.
The more we delay the ceasefire, the more we are going to witness more are being killed, more destruction, and more aggression against the civilians in Lebanon.
Meanwhile, UN officials are still reeling from the death of 4 UN observers in southern Lebanon, killed by an Israeli bomb. Israel called it an accident. The White House forced to play referee.
It's worth noting that the Israelis are also troubled by the attack, and they are mounting a full investigation.
And this just in, Al Jazeera television airing a video statement of Ayman al-Zawahiri, that's Osama bin Laden's top deputy, saying that al-Qaeda will not stay silent in light of what's going on in Lebanon and Palestine, and urging people to unite with al-Qaeda and revolt. Live in Washington, I'm Brianna Keeler.
All right, Brianna, thank you. Meanwhile, violence on Philadelphia streets continues. 7 more people shot overnight. Another man stabbed. The latest rampage comes on the heels of an address planned by Mayor John Street to announce the city's plan to stop all the bloodshed. Steve Keeley joins us now from police headquarters with more. Steve, seems like we're doing this every week.
Yeah, Scott, you hear about all the violence in the Middle East. At least they have an excuse there. There's a war, but the crime wave continues back home here in Philadelphia. And as you say, just hours before the mayor is planning to go on local TV for a live 5-minute speech on how to stop or maybe just even slow down this growing crime spree. And his timing couldn't be better among the so far 7 shootings and 1 stabbing overnight alone. This wild scene on Weymouth Street in the city's Kensington section, where 3 people were shot. So for now, in 2006, Philadelphia is already past last year's pace for murders. And last year was the most deadly year in the city in the past decade. So as the cases continue to stack up here at the Homicide Division at Police Headquarters, the detectives the street cops and the residents wonder what the mayor's going to say and what the police can do about all this crime. Live at the Roundhouse, Steve Keeley, Fox News.
All right, Steve, thank you.
A new ordinance passes in Riverside, New Jersey. It's aimed at cracking down on illegal immigrants. The new ordinance will fine landlords who rent to illegals and revoke business licenses of employers that hire illegal immigrants. Riverside is struggling to handle the more than 3,500 illegal immigrants there. The ordinance is similar to the one that we've told you about. It was adopted by Hazleton, Pennsylvania. Philadelphia officially out of the running as the U.S. host city for the 2016 Summer Olympics. Oh, darn. Yesterday, the U.S. Olympic Committee eliminated Houston as well, Misery Does Like Company, leaving San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Chicago as contenders. The USOC has decided whether it will even bid to host the 2016 Games. It will make that decision by the end of the year.
Yeah, it's such a political decision, and you need so much backing and so much gearing up for it. I remember being in New York when they were making their bid.
Sure.
And it is a citywide effort. I didn't feel that Philadelphia had the same effort going here.
No, well, we still gave it our all.
We did.
Better luck next time. Yeah.
Well, nothing refreshes on a hot summer day like a dip in the pool, but accidents can, and they do happen.
That's right. Now kids in Philadelphia can swim more safely than ever. As FOX29's Bruce Gordon explains, you don't have to look very deep to find out why.
Somewhere in the packed pool at the King Sessing Recreation Center stands 10-year-old Colleen Brown. There she is in the floral swimsuit. It's the first time Colleen's mom has taken her to the pool since early last summer, when a frightening incident occurred in the pool's 8-foot deep end.
She just jumped in and almost drowned. So it kept me away from this pool for a long time. And now today, as we was coming out from them getting dressed, I actually looked around and I said, good, I felt comfortable.
That's because the deep end here has been removed, filled in with concrete to a depth of just 5 feet. It's part of a citywide program now complete to remove deep water from all 76 rec center pools. Drownings are rare, but lots of near drownings convinced city officials that deep water was an unnecessary hazard.
You can guard the water a lot better. You can also service more young people at that time as well. They want to play. They want to play. They want to get wet.
At King Sessing, the difference is easy to spot. With a depth range of 3 feet to 5 feet, the whole pool can be enjoyed. Back in the old days, the deep end would usually be empty, with most of the kids packed into the shallow water. Colleen Brown notices the difference.
I'm not scared no more because it's not deep.
Make it a little more fun?
Yup. And no more dangerous.
In fact, 4 rec center pools still have their deep ends and will keep them, at least for the time being. They come in handy for things like lifeguard training. But for the rest of the city, the dangers of deep water have now been removed, allowing kids to keep cool while staying safe. In Southwest Philadelphia, Bruce Gordon, Fox 29 News.
In recent years, the city has added so-called spray parks to 4 of its rec centers. They are safer than pools and they use less water. Going back to our temperature debate, Kerri, OSHA recommends between 66 and 72. We're right in the middle, Ann.
No, here's the thing. But it doesn't fit. You know how Sue does the thing where the temperature is this, but it feels like this?
Yeah.
In here, you guys claim it's 68, and I will be checking Andy as soon as we toss to Sue. However, yeah, right, he just upped it. It feels like 40 degrees.
It's a gender issue.
It is, because Chanel and Jen and Sue, and I bet Dorothy, if she was down here too, they all agree, and Dorothy would as well.
Yes.
I'm just saying,
You're the
Sue
two guys
Serio,
here.
yeah, you know, who is it about here? Let's keep Andy and, Scott
You guys could always
cool,
put more clothes
so
on.
everybody else is. Yeah, there is that, isn't there? Yeah. Well,
I can't take anything else off.
yeah, and we don't necessarily want you to just yet. We don't know you that well.
Understood.
Just give it a couple weeks, Scott. Let's go to
Not
Sue Serio, where
advocating.
it's got to be warmer outside. Because, again, Sue, you know what it feels like in here?
I know.
Freezing.
You got a wind chill inside the studio. We don't even start talking about wind chill until at least November. But here we're mentioning heat index today because of the humidity. Later on we'll feel it, but right now we're grateful for a breeze along Kelly Drive. Let's check big picture weather on the 9th and see what's coming up later on. For Bus Stop Buddy out the door, it's going to be 73 degrees. For us today, 90 will be our high temperature. And yeah, it'll feel even warmer than that. Heat index maybe as high as 95. Tomorrow, 88 degrees, our temperature because of some strong storms that should come through in the afternoon with a cold front. Saturday and Sunday, 90, 92, pop-up thunderstorms late in the day, both days. And for the last day of July, it'll probably be about 92 degrees. But we do have a breeze kicking up this morning at Kelly Drive. The sun hasn't burned through the haze yet, but we know what's coming. The heat, the humidity, the haze, all of it. And that is your 5-day forecast. This is a look, Dorothy, at the smooth flowing traffic along Kelly Drive. We added a traffic cam to your repertoire.
That's what I like to hear.
Morning. Try to help you out whenever we can.
I appreciate that. Traffic and weather, it's a bond that can't be broken. So.
That's right. They're inseparable.
Well, I can't give you too much weather except to say that it kind of looks a little bit hazy on the roads this morning. Can't tell the temperature from in here, but we know it's kind of crowded too. 95 towards Center City. If you've got to drive from Allegheny through Girard Avenue, you're going to be like these folks and kind of slowing down a little bit in this region. Still nothing too major once you're in Center City, Philadelphia on the Vine Expressway, but getting there by way of 76. The Schuylkill, it's going to be a little bit heavy for you. In fact, we're finding more and more volume now as you travel from the Montgomery Avenue area, specifically through to Girard Avenue. Girard is where the traffic definitely the heaviest. If you've got to catch any of our area hotspots, the Blue Ridge still delay-free. A good choice, 422. It is building between the Trooper region and 23, but nothing too out of the ordinary just yet. And how about the 42 freeway? Well, Creek Road to 295 is the region where you're mostly going to slow down. Some troubles with SEPTA this morning. Still, keep in mind, if you've got to use the R6 Kenwood, you're going to find yourself being shuttle bused along most of the route. It is all because Amtrak track work that is going on still during the summer months. I'm Dorothy Krysiuk. Back to you.
All right, Dorothy. I'm thinking we're going to have like a little Surrey-Shiloh battle soon.
I bet we are.
Who's going to be the most popular kid? She's only 2 months old, and she's already been recreated in wax. Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, and baby Shiloh are on display at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. We'll tell you how these wax counterparts are also helping the less fortunate.
And Nick Smith with some characters, some famous ones in West Deptford. He's checking out the production of Beauty and the Beast. Coming up.
This Fox 29 program brought to you by Honda. See your Honda dealer and discover great values now being offered.
Nick Smith is our own Johnny Drama. So
true.
what better place to send him than a rehearsal for Beauty and the Beast?
He's live in West Deptford this morning with more on this. Good morning, Nick. This is your second time covering Beauty and the Beast, so you're a pro now.
You know, Kerri Lee, Scott, I have to tell you, these kids are absolutely amazing. I say kids, but it's really made up of community members from all over, not only just children. We're talking about young adults. We're talking about some as young as 7 years old. Joe Schramm, Artistic Director of the West Deptford Community Theater. Good morning. How are you?
How you doing, Nick?
I'm doing well. Talk to us about Beauty and the Beast and the Community Theater.
This is our 34th summer season. This year we decided to go with Disney's Beauty and the Beast. Like you said, cast members range from 7 years old all the way up to, I believe, our oldest cast members in the mid to late 50s. These kids have worked since mid-May with rehearsals. Show this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday afternoon.
I have to talk about how amazing this is because one of the things we talk about is how you get everybody to come on out and do this together as a group. You all are performing here all the way through the end of the month, right?
Yes, that is right. Our children's theater started with, we do about 4 or 5 shows a season with the children's theater. That is ages 6 through, I believe it's 15. Community theater is...
How can people find out more about the community theater here in West Deptford?
Checking out our website. It's www.wdltproductions.com or going to the West Deptford Township website.
Sounds good. Again, I'm going to take you all and show you all a little bit more of the cast and crew of Beauty and the Beast as they continue to do a couple of the songs. The production of Beauty and the Beast is here at West Deptford Little Theater, 16,000 Old Crown Point Road in West Deptford, New Jersey. We have some information up on the screen for you right there, right now. You can also, once again, go to their website at www.wdltproductions.com, or for more information, you can simply call their phone number at 856-415 1108. Again, the young men and women who make up the West Deptford Community Theater and their rendition of Beauty and the Beast. Why don't you come on down and check it out? You can only catch them through the end of the month. Kerri Lee Scott, I'm going to send it back to you. And I have to tell you this. If you have that same lead in at 7:45 about the drama thing,
get rid of it.
Come on, change it up a little bit.
Hey, I don't write these
You're
things.
not ready. Bye,
Come
you guys.
on.
We'll work
Bye-bye.
on that, Nick. We can take a hint. Thanks. Nick likes, you know, originality, creativity.
All right, we'll give him a little ad-libbing.
We'll work on it. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's baby on display at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. We're talking about baby Shiloh. She can be seen in a woven basket with her wax parent standing over her. Visitors can have their photos taken with the family, and a portion of the cost will be donated to UNICEF. NSYNC member Lance Bass telling People magazine that he's gay. Bass says he's in a relationship with the winner of Season 4 of The Amazing Race. Bass says he kept the secret while with NSYNC because he didn't want to wreck the band. But he says he is not ashamed to be gay.
I'm looking at Kerri-Lee.com right now. Have you guys gone on the web? Kerri, Kerri-Lee.com. This is nice.
It is really nice. And actually, you're pointing it out because we just got an email, someone saying that they had put this together. I'm touched and sort of shocked. It's very sweet. I'm just trying to be like Serio.com and soon to be Engler.com, I'm sure.
I don't think that one's going to be up soon.
I don't have a website set up by a fan. Yeah, well, you deserve it. Let's take a look at big picture weather on the 9s. Yeah, because, people always get mad at the weather forecaster when the weather is not to their liking. And that's almost every day because somebody's going to be complaining. 74 degrees, our current temperature, 87% relative humidity. A southerly breeze at 6 miles an hour, barometer reading 29.98 inches. That's the current situation at Philadelphia International Airport. A few pop-up showers in the overnight hours, but really nothing much to look at on regional radar this morning as far as precipitation is concerned. Maybe a few stray showers just east of Harrisburg. We have a slight chance of those popping up this morning, but a greater chance this afternoon after we hit 90 degrees with that hazy sunshine. A few small impulses coming through and some afternoon or evening thunderstorms possible tomorrow. Some of those could be severe with more soaking rain, so a high of 88 degrees on Friday. Now, what about the weekend? Yes, Thursday, it's almost here. 90 degrees on Saturday, 92 on Sunday, and 92 on Monday as well. If you picked next week as your vacation week, it looks like at least the first part of it will be hot and humid. Let's hope your vacation is someplace cool or at the shore where you can easily cool off. But just like a day off, Dorothy, just like the weekend, even a bad day at the shore is better than a good day at work.
I hear you. Yes. So
Yep.
What does that say for us who are here?
Well, we love our work, so we're okay.
Oh, yes, I forgot we do.
We're okay.
Do. And you know what? I love to tell you the traffic soon. Even you, who's on Kelly Drive with very little volume. Okay, this morning we actually have a little bit of volume to get to and some troubles along the Black Horse Pike. If you drive in Washington Township, Gloucester County, you're going to be on scene with a lot of other folks trying to get around this accident near Fry's Mill Road. Police are arriving. There could be a little bit of traffic. We are hearing there might be a lane blockage or so I'd avoid it for the next couple minutes. Checking the highways, they're definitely packed already on 422. Check this out. Stop and go volume already from Oaks through this region at Trooper. And we certainly know that we're getting lots of volume, and we can see it on I-95. This is from the Cottman Avenue area all the way through Center City, Philadelphia already. So the volume took no time at all to build. That's kind of how it works during rush hour. The Blue Ridge southbound getting tighter. Also near the Schuylkill Expressway, you'll find some delays east on 422 as we just showed you, but the 42 freeway also wanted to focus on that. Out of South Jersey, it is at a crawl from Creek Road to 295. And finally, the Schuylkill Expressway actually not doing too poorly this morning, a little bit lighter than some of our other area roadways. That's unusual. In this region around the Blue Route, you're doing well. By the way, it does pick up a bit closer to Center City, Philadelphia, with a slow spot around Girard. I'm Dorothy Krysiuk. Back to you.
Thank you, Dorothy. 6:51. Pet owners, listen up, particularly if you have a dog. Did you know you're supposed to brush your dog's teeth every day?
Didn't know. Well, there's a new product that's designed to help your pet do it on his or her own. We're not kidding. Does it really work? Chanel Jones here now with a preview. It's designed to clean the gum line, plaque, and even tartar buildup. Chanel?
Yep, it is. Just like the toothbrushes we can buy for ourselves. It's called Easy Brush. And like you said, it's supposed to get the plaque and all the tartar and all of that stuff. And your dog is supposed to use it every other day. Now, it sounds like a good idea, so we took it to Dr. Stephen Meister at Society Hill Veterinary Hospital. He says more and more pet owners realize the importance of brushing their dog's teeth because it can save money down the line. In fact, pet owners who don't do this can end up spending hundreds of dollars when the vet has to do it for them down the line. Now, we tested the new doggy brush out here on Lucy. You can see her there. She definitely likes the chicken-flavored toothpaste. But the question is, did we ever get her to use it the right way? Well, we're going to tell you in the 8 o'clock hour of the show. Now, I should mention, if you're interested in this jumbo-sized toothbrush, it'll cost you $19.99. And Kerri and Scott, they have little brushes for smaller pets, too. They're supposed to hold it in between their paws and then just kind of brush their teeth with it. So we're going to show you if Lucy can figure it out.
And if we don't have video of that, let's see Chanel do that again.
Just a little.
Anytime.
Pause the
I'm
brush.
here for you.
Yeah.
I want to see a little Sonic. I want to see floss for the dog and really get to work.
And who's going to do the floss for the dog?
Nobody. I don't see him doing this one either.
The whole thing of like dog, you know, the little boots they wear in the rain and stuff, that stuff doesn't stay on. That's difficult to use.
People love to dress up their dogs. They're like dolls.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Next hour, we're going to be talking about Riverside, New Jersey, which is now coming down on illegal immigrants. They're going to make it illegal to rent. They can make it illegal to hire these guys. And so we're talking about the towns are going to crack down where the country has not been able to form a good illegal immigration policy. Towns are now taking the upper hand.
That's right. Very similar to what we've been talking about is happening in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. The mayor there getting a lot of attention, even nationally, for having a real strong stance on illegal immigrants and how they should be treated in the township. So we will have more on that coming up. So stay tuned.
And you will get a chance to adopt dozens of cats rescued from a home in Upper Darby.
That's right. The Delaware County SPCA says the family who lives at this home in the 7200 block of Radbourne Road had at least 64 cats. So animal control went in and confiscated many of them. They're taking more today. The SPCA has had to euthanize some of the cats, but most are in good health.
They'll be available for adoption this Saturday. For more information, you can go to fox29.com.
It is 6:54 now. The immigration debate, as we mentioned, heating up on both sides of the river this morning. We will have the latest on the fallout from the Riverside, New Jersey vote. We'll also tell you what's happening on the issue right here in Philadelphia today. Hey, what celebrity do people tell you that you look like? A new website will tell you if you look more like Angelina Jolie or maybe Lyle Lovett. I want to look like Angelina Jolie.
My Fox shows and your Fox shows on the Hall of Comedy.
FOX29 is working to make a difference in our community.
If you've witnessed a crime, step up and speak up.
Call this number, inform the police, and stop the violence.
Geraldo at Large, Washington. A mother and daughter slain in the woods. Did someone stalk and hunt them down? Or is a brutal murderer killing at random?
It's an at-large story you can't miss.
Plus, has the summer sun been scorching your skin? We'll show you which sunscreens really keep you safe.
Tonight, after the Fox 29 10 o'clock news.
This is the sound of the FBI's greatest weapon.
Hello.
We can negotiate a surrender.
Do not come in!
Do you want your son to live?
We can take him out with selective fire.
Pick up the phone!
Standoff.
Tuesdays, Fox 4. A new way to track sex offenders, how it's better at keeping tabs on perverts, and why it's a big victory for America's most wanted John Walsh. Tonight at 10.